There was a time we almost became super rich, and at the same time my father almost became a street man because of one strange opportunity. This is what happened. One day we were behind our herd of cattle. I was the one who usually grazed them while my father was heading to see his friend Chris to ask whether there was any job opportunity for the day. They used to share work opportunities whenever one heard about something. As we were walking, a very luxurious car suddenly pulled up behind us on the road. We quickly had to push the cattle to one side so they would not be hit by the car or the car get scratched by the cow's horns. My father told me, "Hurry and pull the cattle aside while I stay behind." As the big car slowly overtook the cattle, the window rolled down. Normally you would only expect someone inside to say, "Thank you for giving way." But instead, my father suddenly heard someone call his name. He stepped closer to the window to see clearly who was calling him. Then he shouted loudly in surprise, "Is that you, Kibble?" The man inside the car smiled and replied, "Yeah, it's me." My father became very excited. "Long time since I saw you. Since our school days." Kibble laughed and replied, "Yeah, it has been a very long time." My father admired the luxurious car and said, "Kibble, I can see life is amazing on your side these days. What do you do for a living?" Kibble replied mysteriously, "I am a collector of very unique things and I sell them at a high price. Right now I even have an untapped opportunity you can try if it suits you." My father immediately became curious. "What opportunity is that?" Kibble looked at him and asked, "Where are you heading?" "We need some time so I can explain properly." My father told him he was going to see his friend Chris. Surprisingly, Kibble still remembered Chris and even laughed, saying, "Is that the same Chris who used to wet the bed during school days?" My father burst into laughter and said, "Yes, that same Chris." Then my father pointed at me and added, "And this is my son. He's taking the cattle to graze." After thinking for a moment, my father decided, "I think my visit to Chris can wait. Let us have this talk first." Kibble told my father to get into the car, and they drove away while I continued toward the grazing fields. That evening my father returned home with the biggest story ever. He described Kibble's huge house, the beautiful compound, and the many expensive cars parked outside. As children we could only imagine such a place in our minds. Truly, Kibble had become a rich man. Even my mother knew him because Kibble's wife had been my mother's classmate many years earlier. But the whole time I was only waiting to hear about the opportunity. After almost 10 minutes of storytelling, my father finally said, "I have good news. What I can tell you today is that we are going to become super rich like Kibble." Everyone in the house became silent. Then my father removed a photograph and placed it on the table. It was a picture of a unique-looking glass bottle. He explained that Kibble had told him those bottles were in very high demand and buyers were paying thousands of shillings for each one. Kibble had also warned him to move quickly before everybody else discovered the business and caused the prices to drop. Immediately, my father created a plan. "Our first target is to fill 2 sacks with these bottles. After that, I will call Kibble and he will connect us with the buyer." The next morning my father left home carrying an empty sack and headed to dumping sites to search for the bottles. Before leaving he told me, "After school, make sure you also take a sack and search around the village." That was the beginning of swallowing shame. People in the village started wondering what had happened to our family. Imagine seeing the father searching through dumping sites, then later seeing his children doing the same. Meanwhile my mother remained at home handling everything else. Still, we kept pushing because in our minds we were heading toward wealth. After 1.5 months of hard work, we finally managed to fill 2 full sacks with the special bottles. My father became extremely excited. "This weekend we are going to Kibble's home so he can connect us with the buyer." That weekend we left together carrying all our hopes. Amazingly, my father still remembered the route to Kibble's home perfectly. But immediately we reached the gate, we heard microphones and loudspeakers playing sorrowful messages. Outside the gate stood 2 men. My father asked them, "What is happening here?" One man replied, "We are mourning. Our uncle Kibble died 2 days ago." That information almost removed my father's ability to stand. He asked again because he could not believe it. But they repeated the same thing. My father slowly entered the compound while I followed behind him, and sadly it was true. It is rare to see grown men shed tears openly, but my father cried that day. Everyone around thought he was crying because he had lost a close childhood friend. Without realizing it, my father was also mourning the massive opportunity he believed had slipped from his hands. At one point, he even approached Kibble's wife and quietly asked whether she knew the buyer for those bottles. But he hit a dead end when she answered. Kibble never discussed his business partners with me. That completely broke my father. When we returned home, he sat silently for a long time before explaining everything to my mother. She already knew how much suffering, shame, and effort we had gone through to fill those 2 sacks. In the end, all the dreams disappeared overnight. That is how we almost became super rich, and how my father nearly became a street man searching through dumping sites for a business that died together with Kibble.